Navigating space is hard. Most space games generally have scaled down worlds where planets and stars are small, as well as the distances between them. The ones that aren't typically use a simple click-to-move solution. I aimed to solve this problem for no end. My main idea when designing this mechanic is for it to be very simple to use, but also have plenty of freedom. You can select planets by holding tab and hovering over with your cursor. If you press spacebar with a planet, or orbital body selected, it will set it as your destination. The ship will then accelerate or decelerate accordingly. The ship accelerates at a constant rate for exactly half of the trip, and will then decelerate for the second half. Dynamic time dilation is used to keep gameplay fluid, as it can take weeks or months to travel between planets. The ship accelerates at 20 meters per second per second. The ship will increase and decrease the passage of time to make the trip smooth and quick. While traveling, you have complete control of the ship's direction, and you can slow down or speed up time manually. Keep in mind the ship accelerates and decelerates at a constant rate for the entire trip. This means if you were to switch your destination to a close-by planet without shedding the appropriate amount of speed, the ship will not be able to come up with a solution to the destination. On to faster than light travel. I don't have an obvious way of exiting a star system yet. Currently, you can just select the star or an orbital that's behind you and set it as your destination. While being affected by the gravity well of a star, you cannot use faster than light travel. This will have a profound impact on the way you approach combat. I'll explain later. Once you're free, you can enable faster than light travel. In No End, the ship you control has a unique type of FTL drive called a RIP space drive. The RIP space drive is considerably slower than FTL drives of the equivalent tech level. It is also ineffective around the presence of a gravity well. These flaws are outweighed by the fact that the RIP space drive is impossibly efficient, capable of traveling between galaxies without exhausting fuel reserves. The drive is also extremely difficult, if not impossible, to detect on scans. Once the RIP space drive is active, nearby stars will appear on the HUD. These can be selected and navigated to the same way as planets. The difference, however, the RIP space drive propels you at a constant speed of 10.5 astronomical units, approximately 5,000 times the speed of light, meaning it takes decades to travel through galaxies and centuries to travel between. As you approach your destination, dynamic time dilation kicks in, allowing you to easily land on star systems. You have complete freedom while traveling to your destination. Something that I'm not sure about is this focus feature. It allows you to do kind of like a sprint until you run out of focus. It recharges passively but very slowly, or if you pass by a nearby star, it will recharge quickly. The reason I believe this is necessary is because even at the highest setting of time dilation, it will take about 16 minutes to travel 100,000 light years, which would be the size of an average galaxy. The focus feature would encourage players to approach nearby stars, potentially discovering something they wouldn't have if they were to just fly straight to objectives. Do you think this is a good idea? Okay, so let's talk about ship design. I mentioned previously that the UDV is meant to last for hundreds of thousands of years. So when I began redesigning the ship, I kept that in mind, as well as designing the ship to be repaired and maintained without a crew. So I designed the hull and modules to be bulky and to look very sturdy, no thin pieces or anything that looks fragile. After all, a ship that is meant to travel for eons should be built to last. For repair and maintenance, almost every component is designed to be ejected. If you go into diagnostics, you can select the component and eject it. This actually works in the same way as selecting stars and planets and setting them as your destination. The reason some of these modules need ejected is because there is no crew, or really any interior of the ship, so deeper, more sophisticated modules such as shield generators and capacitors need to be ejected so that an external repair drone can access them. I don't have all the modules done yet, just the ones that are capable of being ejected. I will eventually get around to adding everything. First off, I have not implemented any opponents yet, but I assure you I will add them soon. But I would like to talk about how I intend to design combat. I mentioned earlier that the UDV is unable to use the RIP space drive and a gravity well, and how it would have a profound impact on how you approach combat in the game. This is because of how long it takes to travel through a system. Dynamic time dilation is only usable when you are traveling. It can take weeks to enter and leave a star system at sublight speeds. This means if you're engaged while inside a star system, you can either win the fight or, somehow, tank their damage for weeks. It would always be a good idea to properly scan a system before entering. Combat will be balanced around heat instead of energy. Weapons and shield usage generate a massive amount of heat, which can be radiated away over time, but it can take hours. This is all just a concept for now though. Let me know what you think, or if you have any suggestions. I'm sorry that it's been so long since my last video. I work on no end every day, but it's difficult to find time to make these. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more.